Welcome back to my second video in a series that solves what is probably Apple's most requested but neglected feature. How can I play some of the most popular PC games right from my Mac, with no boot camp, no virtualization, and no more costs over the price of the base game? Up until recently, I thought it impossible, but I've since learnt that you can natively play games such as Grand Theft Auto, Skyrim, Age of Empires, and Fallout 3 in New Vegas. Today, I'll be sharing with you that very method and how you can begin playing Fallout New Vegas on your Mac computer. So why would you want to do this? Well, you may be a Mac convert and have a library of PC games that are no longer accessible to you. Or maybe you only played some of these games on consoles and missed out on the PC exclusive experiences, such as mods and improved performance. For a game like Fallout New Vegas, the modding community is alive and well, and it runs surprisingly smooth on older Mac hardware. Apart from owning a copy of Fallout New Vegas, the requirements are relatively simple. First, and perhaps most obvious, you will need a Mac computer currently running Mojave OS or upwards. Now, I have previously tried installing various games on systems running below Mojave, namely Sierra and High Sierra, and seem to run into issues with blank screens upon installation. For reference, I will be installing and playing New Vegas on my 2014 MacBook Pro, currently running Big Sur. Next, and as mentioned earlier, you will need a copy of Fallout New Vegas. I will be using the Game of the Year edition, which can be purchased from Good Old Games, and this is the preferred method of installation. Lastly, you will need the porting kit. This is the software responsible for enabling your Mac to read and understand executable files used in Microsoft Windows. If you are confused, scared, or worried about potential issues, don't worry, I felt the same way before I began this process. Lucky for you, I've mapped out the steps so you can give PC gamers another reason to feel salty over Mac computers. So let's double down and take a relatively safe gamble in venturing forth into the Mojave wasteland. I've just realised there's probably some irony in playing Fallout New Vegas on a Mac running Mojave OS. So yeah, let's head over to Good Old Games and download our copy of Fallout New Vegas. I've left a link to the game's store page in the description below. Once purchased, visit your profile and select the game from your library. What is important to note here is that we will not be using Good Old Games Galaxy, but instead scrolling down a little further to access the offline install files. As of this recording, there are currently 3 files you'll need to download. Once you've downloaded these files, you should have one .exe file and 2 .bin files. Don't worry if your icons appear a little different to mine. What's important is that you have these 3 files, otherwise the installation simply won't work. Next, choose a place where you would like to store these files. I have made a dedicated folder inside my documents, but you can place them elsewhere. I will say that I've encountered errors when attempting to install the game when the files were left in my downloads folder, so again I recommend finding a separate place for them. The next step is downloading and installing the porting kit. I have left a link to the website in the description below, which will take you directly to the download availability. Download the DMG file and proceed to install it on your Mac. It will operate like any other native Mac program, and it is recommended to move it straight to your application folder for optimal performance. Once installed, launch the porting kit and navigate to the Library tab. You will see an alphabetized list of games and applications that have been successfully ported over to the porting kit. Please keep in mind that these are not the games themselves, but the means to convert them to be used on a Mac should you have the installation files yourself or the right to access them. As we covered in the previous step, we have bought a copy of Fallout New Vegas and now have the installation files stored locally on our Mac. Using the search tool, select Fallout New Vegas and visit the game's porting kit page. This will provide you with the means to install the game, along with instructions and special notes. Thanks to the porting kit, it is going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting in making Fallout New Vegas playable on Mac. When you are ready to move ahead with the installation, hit install and select the Good Old Games option as your desired method. The installation guide is going to prompt you to complete actions we have already covered, largely being around already having the necessary files to complete the installation. Make sure you are comfortable with the T's and C's, and finally confirm once again that you have the .exe and .bin files ready for the porting kit to access. The most important part of this process is providing the porting kit with the correct file path to run the installation setup. Hit Select Installer, and a new window will appear. You will need to navigate to the location where you chose to store your downloaded Fallout New Vegas files. In my case, it was in my Documents, Games, and Fallout New Vegas install files. Now sit back and let the installer run its course, and if you have done the process correctly, you'll soon be prompted to select your language in a window suspiciously similar to how Microsoft Windows appear. You are now officially inside the .exe file within your Mac, and you can complete the Fallout New Vegas installation. Agree to the terms and select Install. A new installation window will appear. Now go have a cup of tea, as this installation will take a while. You may also see some Windows-centric programs run through their own independent installation. This is normal behaviour and should not affect the overall success of installing Fallout New Vegas. However, you will be prompted to install .NET near the end of the installation process. As per the notes left on the porting kit page, installing .NET will cause issues when running the game, so do not proceed with the install and select cancel. It won't cancel the entire installation, rather it will just stop .NET. Additionally, once the installer advises you Fallout New Vegas was successfully installed, it is important not to hit launch. Instead, hit exit and return to the porting kit installation guide and await for it to complete the process. Once complete, visit your application folder and you will find Fallout New Vegas installed like any other Mac application. You can launch it direct from your application folder. Depending on your system, it is recommended to tweak the settings accordingly to ensure stable performance. There are additional instructions on the porting kit page which address issues with Macs running integrated graphics over discrete graphics, so make sure to check those out so your New Vegas experience is as smooth as possible. Now, as mentioned earlier in the video, a big advantage of running the PC version of Fallout New Vegas is the ability to mod the game. Even now, mods are being developed or updated, so it's a great time to jump in and explore some of the mods that add new content, gameplay, and graphical overhauls until it's barely recognisable from the base game. Nexus Mods is a centralised location where you can view, download, and apply mods with minimal hassle. The only caveat for us is that we are using a Mac to run Fallout New Vegas, so we will need to install mods manually. We cannot use the mod managers unless the program is similarly installed using the porting kit, and because in most cases mods can be applied through manual means, it's easier in our instances to follow that method. Mod creators will outline where their files are to be placed. The most common folder is the data folder associated with Fallout New Vegas. To find this file path, open the porting kit and select New Vegas. Navigate to the More option and expand the drop-down menu. Select Advanced Tools and open C Drive. This will take you to the PC folders inside your Mac. Open the GOG Games folder and then Fallout New Vegas. The data folder will be inside here. Some mods will also require you to drop files in the Fallout New Vegas folder directly, in which case back up one step. There are so many mods you can apply, completely altering past experiences you may have had with New Vegas. What's more, if you're using a MacBook like I am, you can now take New Vegas on the go and show your wasteland adventure to strangers in the park, on public transport, or your local shops. But for now, take some time to appreciate one of gaming's most intriguing titles and enjoy hundreds of hours right from the comfort of your trusty Mac computer.